We'll take you through our highlights from a memorable weekend in North Texas.
10 teams make the playoffs. That 10th spot is up for grabs. I'll let you know which 3 teams are fighting for it.
And we'll see if the new-look Utah Black Diamonds can make a statement at their hometown event this week in Salt Lake City. That and so much more coming up next on Inside Major League Pickleball. Welcome to Inside Major League Pickleball. I'm Will Daughton, alongside 3-time MLP winning general manager Dave Fleming. Dave, it's been so long since we've been in the same room to record one of these. It's great to have you back.
Good to be here. I was on a glacier from one of these at a venue in New York for the other. So good to race over here from Picklr Universe. And let's talk Salt Lake City.
Let's talk it. I mean, just an awesome weekend in Dallas.
Yes.
Before we even get to Utah,
Yes.
I mean, that event at Picklr Universe, just the best teams in Major League Pickleball going at it. Epic comebacks, epic dream breakers. We'll go through our top takeaways, starting with the St. Louis Shock.
Yeah.
They lock up the #1 seed. What a 2-week stretch this has been for the Shock and Awe squad. I mean, they go undefeated on their home court. They do the same thing in Dallas. They take down a red-hot New Jersey Fives team, who we'll talk about in a few minutes. What is the most impressive thing to you about what St. Louis has done after the midseason tournament?
Well, just in general, the fellas, 24-1 in the regular season is just, that is absurd. How in the world do H and Gabe run that off against the best players in the world? So that is just amazing, because the ladies weren't great down the stretch. They were fine, but they weren't running out there and getting them off and running. And the boys just said, we're good, and stopped it. And just the consistency. And then I really liked Anna Bright's answer to my question about what was Sunday like for her before they played.
Walk me through what was going on with the team today, because this match could have had huge implications based on what the Dallas Flash was doing. You didn't play till 5, which is a unusual pickleball day. Walk me through what happened before you even walked on the court here.
Yeah, you know, we went to breakfast together, and we got here a little early. We had a nice hit, and of course we're trying not to think about, you know, Dallas having a couple matches today, one against the kind of revamped Mad Drops, and we knew there were a lot of different possible scenarios where we could end with the 1 seed, but we were really trying to just focus on, we knew we only had to make it to a dream break, but just focus on, we win, we're in. We win, we're in. But definitely when we knew that LA won that first mixed, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't like a breath of relief. Not that we were rooting against Dallas personally at all, but then I felt like we were really free we were just playing to win because we wanted to win. It wasn't like in the back of our minds we were playing for 2-2. So yeah, we all felt more free. We were all like, okay, we're playing free now. And I think even though we lost women's and the first mixed match, this is like a really good team. They send out 4 really good lineups and a really good dream breaker lineup. So, you know, it's not always going to be the same. We've beaten this team in regulation a few times, and I think we were a little fortunate to do that, and it's definitely something we can do, but it's nice to have that confidence that in a dream breaker going into the playoffs, because I'm sure there will be a lot of them.
I think it was fascinating to watch how that developed, and then we got one of the best matches of the year that mattered more for the Fives, quite frankly, and the Shock win again.
And speaking of the New Jersey Fives, we have to give credit to Annalie Waters and Megan Dizon. Yes. They just really turned it on. Yes. Those two specifically in this last event. You had Noe Cliff and Will Howells playing together for the first time, but it was every single match. Annalie and Megan just got that New Jersey squad off to a hot start. Was so impressed from what I saw from them.
Yes, and I'm so impressed with Megan Dizon because midseason tournament against the Shock. Wait, what? Mari is in, and we love Mari, so this has nothing to do with Mari. It's just the way sports work. And Megan has gotten better and better, so much more comfortable than when in April they played against the Shock. That's a wildly different unit across the board. Her power we know about, but it's the resets, the transition play, the consistency of the third. So I am certain that this team is going to be someone you don't want to play because we got crazy beast mode Annalie Waters as well.
And you saw that in the Dream Breaker, that one of the best MLP matches of all time, yes. New Jersey versus LA, 22-20. Annalie Waters and Catherine Parento trot out there at 20 all. There's an ovation from the crowd before a point is even played. Dave, you were on the call for that match. What was the atmosphere like inside Picklr Universe for that?
The hairs on my arm are still up from that. It was the loudest roar in the history of pickleball. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I will fight you on anyone that wants to say it wasn't. Just because I think the crowd appreciated all of it. You had Ben versus Annalie, which the fives had to decide if we would get that in mixed. We did. And Annalie ran them over and played impressively again. And then as it's working out, you're like, okay. And as I'm calling, I'm like, the Mad Drops cannot let Annalie Waters get to the court one more time. And thanks to some great play by Noe Cliff earlier, a 4-0 start against Ben Johns, it got to 22-20. And this was the flash mob without the flash on the court, recognizing that, oh my gosh, this is going to be unbelievable with all the stuff and the Taylor Swift songs around Annalie and Catherine, that you see these two at 20 apiece. Absolutely bedlam, epic. I was absolutely privileged to be calling it. And in fact, I wasn't saying a word, just listening to that eruption. And it is the single biggest moment that is played back to me more than ever. At a tournament, they'll say, hey, did you see this? Did you see that? We're going to be hearing about that moment for a long time.
And that, of course, a huge win for the New Jersey Fives. A big weekend for that team. We'll take a look now at the premier level standings, going by points per match. Obviously said, St. Louis and Dallas locked in at 1 and 2. New Jersey just behind the Brooklyn Pickleball team in terms of total points. They're looking to secure that third spot this weekend. Then once you get down a little bit, you've got LA in that 6th spot. The Texas Rangers and Orlando Squeeze looking to potentially catch them this weekend. It's going to be a tough task to do that, though.
Yeah, I think, you need 4 points out of the fives in 4 matches. I expect that to happen. In fact, I want to see what lineups they put out there. Does Zane Navratil get to come off the bench? That was another storyline for me. The captain, they make a trade and he has to watch. How hard is that to do? Yet the team plays great. Their only loss is what we talked about in a dream breaker. 6th spot, because the Mad Drops finished so well here, and we had, you talk about beast mode AL Dub, we had complete animal Ben Johns in their win against the Flash. Holding on to that 6 is huge because the top 6 get a bye, Will. So 7 through 10 will be in that 1-match play-in into the quarterfinals. You don't want to do that because of the depth of the field now. So I expect the Mad Drops to keep that. I don't think the Ranchers are going to get the 14 out of 15 points that they need. And then I think, for me, one of the most fascinating things is who's going to get the 10th spot.
Well, we have a few teams that could. Utah right now in 9th. The Miami Pickleball Club looking different now. They made some trades, of course. Now it's going to be Yuta Funamisu kind of playing in that starting lineup for Miami. Then you've also got the Chicago Slice right on their tail, and the Atlanta Bouncers a little bit further down. They can still make some noise as well. So every single match, you just know, with how many teams have finished their regular season now, you kind of know where you stand. Some of these teams control their own destinies, so having that motivation, that added motivation coming into this week, I think you're going to see a locked-in version of every single player in Utah.
Yeah, and the big one for me is right when we get going, Miami versus Chicago. What is going to happen with that? We'll find out. But, get in, and then who knows?
And that next event is the final regular season event. It's the Picklr MLP Salt Lake City, taking place this week, July 31st through August 3rd at the Picklr in Kaysville. Everything on the line. We just talked about it, Dave, for these teams looking to make the postseason. Let's go into our competing teams. 7 competing teams at the premier level, starting with the Atlanta Bouncers, Chicago Slice, Miami Pickleball Club, New Jersey Fives, Orlando Squeeze, the Texas Rangers, and the Utah Black Diamonds. Utah, of course, the first time in their history that all 4 of their starters currently residing in Utah. That's great for that team, great for the marketing as well.
It's great for everything, and it's an upgrade. You're bringing Etatui Onatoa, multi-time MLP champion in there, so she's going to be playing with Elise Jones, who she knows. They're going to be able to practice together. And they suddenly become a tough out because Connor Garnett, Tyler Lung should be back. He had the bicycle accident, and will be in the lineup with Connor. So those two, Elise Jones is made for MLP and the energy, and she has been a rock for them. So I think what they need to do is obviously secure that 9th position, which I expect that they will do, and then just ramp up the gel and the chemistry. And then the way the playoffs works, the teams at the top get to pick who they want to play. If they can get through the play-in, that'll be wild to see them out there because this is a full effort team.
And you talked about Editui Onotoa and Elise Jones. They made a final on the Carvana PPA Tour earlier this year in Red Rock, so they know how to win together, know how to win big matches. So we've got those 7 premier teams. Now all 6 challenger teams will be in action as well. Those, of course, the Bay Area Breakers, California Black Bears, DC Pickleball Team, the Florida Smash, Las Vegas Night Owls, and the Nashville Chefs. And we know all 6 challenger teams will make the playoffs, and the top 2 teams right now, that's Las Vegas and Nashville, get a first-round bye. They'll be looking to make sure that they're, maintain that spot, maintain that momentum going into the playoffs after a very long regular season.
Yeah, the Night Owls were the unanimous pick from all the pundits like yourself and myself, and they have lived up to that. Their 4 players are the top 4 players as you look at the individual standings. Will all of them stay in there? I think this has been an unbelievable year for James Delgado to learn to play with great players, to have the great Canadian Steve Deacon coaching them up. So it's their tournament to lose, and they almost lost the midseason tournament in an epic dream breaker up there in Grand Rapids. So it's not a given that they're going to win it all, and obviously the playoffs will get started in San Diego.
Let's look now at our marquee matchups for this week in Utah. Starting off strong on Thursday with the Miami Pickleball Club taking on the Chicago Slice, 10 versus 11. Chicago just behind Miami. In a big move from the Slice in St. Louis, they switched up their mixed doubles pairings. They now have Max Freeman playing with Vivian Glossman. They've had some good wins together, Dave.
I like what they did. This is the team that's quite frankly underachieved. You saw that team. They had to replace their whole roster coming into the year, and then they made a lot of moves to more veteran Carvana PPA Tour players. Wasn't great. Bring Glossman in. Okay, now things are starting to cook. And again, they would be a very dangerous team if you get full go Big Papa Jimmy. I like what the ladies figuring out who's playing what side with Callie Smith there with Viv. So they just got to get there. And then they're playing this new look Miami. Send out your best 2 players, and Noe Cliff and Millie Rain, who are terrific together, by the way. And Yuta was wonderful in New York. So much energy. He was a fan favorite there. And Maya Bowie has played much better as she's gotten more and more opportunities. So that showdown right away may, in essence, be a playoff game.
And a big test for Maya Bowie as well, and a big opportunity for that Miami team to kick off their final event with a potential big win over Chicago. And then looking at the final day, Sunday, primetime pickleball, the final match of the regular season. It's Orlando taking on the New Jersey Fives. A new look Orlando now with Millie Rain, like you said, but New Jersey, like we said earlier, looking very dangerous with Noe Cliff.
Yeah, so does Miami have all those opportunities we talked about? Great. Now we see one of their favorites over there in Orlando in Millie Rain, and this is really important. I don't think the squeezes position is going to change. I think they're going to end up 8th where they are now, so there's no bye to be found from where they're at. But there is a lot of chemistry, and then when you just go, wait, who's their team? Fed, Dylan, Lacey, Millie? That sounds like a team that could make it to New York if they all play well. So I think, assuming they keep the mixed pairings the same, what does Dylan and Millie look like? Can they get off and running? Can Lacey up her level throughout this as well? And then for the Fives, I don't even know what lineup we'll get, because if they've already gotten that 3rd shot and that 3rd seed secured, perhaps you don't even see Annalie Waters in that match. I don't know. It's up to them, obviously, but they might play with the bench a little bit there. So we'll see what they do. But that's the last one. And I think that one, again, get Noe Cliff and Megan. If indeed Megan plays in that one, they have this interchangeable option. Although with the way Megan's playing, I would not recommend the Clowns do that. So I think that's going to be interesting for me on the 5 side, who's in the lineup.
Obviously, a lot to look forward to this week in the Beehive State. Dave, where can we catch all the action?
Oh, Pickleball TV, of course. I'll not be there, but my guy will be there, so listen in. Will's doing a great job on the call.
Can't wait to be there in Salt Lake City. And that is going to do it for this edition of Inside Major League Pickleball. Thanks, as always, for watching us. For Dave Fleming, I'm Will Daughton, and we'll catch you next time.